Okay, well, my brief was to deliver a Sure Start Children's Centre in a very remote rural area, working on the best principles of value for money. So looking at co-location and looking at reusing what was already available. So that's what we did. We'd already proved the value of it through the other fire stations that currently had children's centres. So I've just listed there a few of our key priorities for the Rothbury area. Obviously, as Sure Start Children's Centres, I have a whole toilet roll list of targets that I have to meet. But for the rural area, increasing the number of childminders. Rothbury has a lot of seasonal work, so there's quite a lot of work from May through to October, but then the work dries up, both agricultural and tourism. So we were trying to look at alternative ways that local people could make money and also increase the stock of childcare. We wanted to create a suitable local children's facility. In Northumberland, we've prided ourselves on the delivery of our children's centres in terms of high quality. So I didn't want to compromise on the quality, even though the numbers of children were actually very low. So it was about quality for every child. It's not just about quantity of children. And we were also really, really keen to improve child safety. And the work we'd done with Wooler had proven what a fantastic partnership Children's Services and the Fire and Rescue are when they work together proactively. And the other one, the other one I've highlighted is creating positive male role models. A lot of the families who use Children's Services, male role models are either missing or they're not as good as we'd like them to be. And we wanted to portray good role models who are embedded firmly in their community, and not just young men, and I won't say slightly older people like Dave, but it was about having it was about having decent male role models who the children and the young people could also aspire and want to be like. So that was one of our, part of our key targets.
I'm just going to cover the final bullet point there, that what we actually have and what's been described to you is a fully resourced, centrally available facility within the Coquet Valley, which is in remote rural Northumberland. There are a whole host of people there who now have access to a facility. Community wardens, who are actually part of community safety, now have the facility to be able to drop in, hot desk, they have rest facilities. They're also the eyes and ears out on the ground as they're patrolling the areas to bring back information and feed information directly into the community. I think one example which truly shows some of the work that's being done is road safety. Now there's a couple of aspects to that whereby we're covering road traffic collision reduction with a target audience of young drivers, 17 to 24-year-olds. And we're working very closely with the police and ambulance service in delivering that session. As I say, the community wardens are out delivering the leaflets, identifying particular drivers, putting up posters, etc. as well. But then we're reinforcing that. We have a target audience available to us within Rothbury Fire Station who come along in the mornings with Sure Start. We've actually trained 2 people up on each and every station to be able to advise on the safe fitting of child car seats. It's an area that's constantly being questioned. Obviously, once the seat's finished and we're all shown, it is something that needs to be reinforced, and that's something that I say that we're now able to provide first-hand, direct safety advice on that particularly important issue.
Okay, so some of the real benefits of partnership working. What we did quite a while ago now is I listed our Sure Start objectives and what we had to achieve. And the fire service listed their objectives, and we thought, well, hang on, let's get together here. So some of my key objectives are reduction in smoking, especially targeting women in pregnancy and after delivery. A 10% reduction in the numbers of 0 to 3s admitted to A&E. Safety information available at all times for all families, and training in health and safety, basic first aid, again available to all families. Lee's already alluded to the car seat fitting service. Another key target for me, and we've just said I can never have a conversation without using the word breast, but breastfeeding is an absolute key target for us, especially linked to obesity. And one of the recent initiatives is one of my play workers has now been trained by the Fire and Rescue Service to deliver co-worked Keep Fit classes for parents on fire stations while the children are safely held in a creche.
Thank you. Just looking across on that slide, it does all start hopefully to fit together. The reduction in smoking objective from Sure Start, and need to reduce house fires and accidental fires, which we've been very successful at. But again, we have to keep forcing that message home. It is a traditional part of what people associate with the fire service, and we obviously do a lot more now, but it's still very much a key part of what we do. Reduction in casualty and fatality figures. The issues around fires in the home are still very much linked to alcohol. They're linked to smoking. They're linked to low income, poor housing stock. Often where families have low incomes and a large number of young children, it doesn't take a lot to work out about the issues around risk and education, and why it's so important that agencies work together to address these issues. Home fire safety messages, hard to reach groups. Sure Start deliver on tap to us from our shared sites exactly the sort of people we need to get to and get those messages to. And we can use the children and the young people as our advocates. They take those messages back to their parents. Often pester power can be one of the most effective things going. They take those messages back, and again, the message doesn't just come from uniformed staff. It comes from our partners, our colleagues, our health and care trust colleagues, Sure Start colleagues. It comes from the whole range. And to address the whole community safety agenda, and I've touched a little on that today about where we no longer just do the fire brigade, we do the whole part. And we were asked a question yesterday as part of a current inspection regime, what's most improved in the fire service in Northumberland? I said I can no longer just answer that question without you re-clarifying to say what's most improved in community safety across Northumberland, because we don't just do fires anymore.
Okay, the next slide is the tangible benefits, and if we got the 2004 to 2009 figures, the trend continues downward. So what we have now been able to do is target. And a little while ago, with colleagues from A&E, we look at specific incidents, repeat accidents, and we target. So I'm glad to say that a tangible benefit is this downward slide in the numbers of children attending A&E.
Just a few more photos to give you a better flavour of what we're talking about. The old site, after we've left, by the way, isn't normally boarded up. Just to give you a flavour of what it was, tired, outdated buildings, asbestos issues, heating issues has been pointed out. A large cash injection would have been needed just to keep this building ticking over. And in most of the local government, major issues around tired buildings that need investment. Moving on to the new site, it isn't a new build, but it's smart, it's tidy, it meets the needs. The two doors had to be extended from what it was before for the ambulance service, but again, altering a building is totally different to building it from scratch. It was there, it was located about 150 odd yards from that site. So even when we're addressing risk as a fire and rescue service, which colleagues around the table may be well aware of, we have to address our risk. We can't just build a fire station out in the middle of nowhere, because that might be the cheapest option. We're even addressing by location very close to the current site. That's exactly where it needs to be for risk and meeting risk in the community. It was located in the ideal place. So again, just to give you a bit of a flavour of what the site looked like. Dave.
Right, this is the benefit of having been able to wear two hats. First of all, I'm a builder. I've had 40 years experience in the building trade, and I was fortunate enough to be given the job as project manager for GP Solutions, which meant that I was in touch with the fire service, and I was in touch with the building side of it. I was heavily involved with this project from day one, when the unit of the old ambulance station was just a shell. I was involved with the planners, I was involved with the design of it, I was involved with Sure Start, that we thought which would be the best design, most economical design, most cost-effective design.